EA Sports just made some more updates to Madden 26. So in this video, we're going to go over what's been updated, get you guys all caught up to speed. Now, yesterday we did get the first big official roster update to start the regular season. They also snuck in some more equipment updates. They've been kind of doing that a little bit these last few weeks, so we're going to cover all of that good stuff and also kind of let you know what to expect in terms of the next big update that's coming probably within the next couple of weeks. And if you never want to miss out on any of these important videos or the news surrounding the game, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on. That way you never miss any of these important videos when I drop them, so you're always up to date with what's going on. So as most of you know, the first big roster update of the year usually drops the day before or the day of the official first game of the season. We got it late yesterday, so we're going to take a look through some of the big changes that people have been waiting for, especially to start their franchise modes and things like that. And of course, we've got to start with Micah Parsons, the biggest move that we had seen in quite some time. It was a little bit unexpected. I think a lot of people thought that they would kind of resolve the issues there and keep him in Dallas. But of course, that did not happen, and they wound up trading him to the Green Bay Packers. So this is a pretty big addition here for Green Bay. I mean, they're a team that, you know, I would think are in contention status. They're a team that definitely could make a run. They've got a pretty good roster. And then you add Micah Parsons to that, kind of the missing piece, you know, a dominant edge rusher. So curious to see how this plays out for them this season. I know Cowboys fans not really happy about it, but, you know, it is what it is now. Also notice some new equipment that they put on Micah Parsons. So if you notice, there are new wrist braces that some players are wearing now. Now, I'm not sure if you can equip these on everybody just yet. They've been kind of sneaking new equipment in with the last few updates, and this is stuff that we saw kind of leak a few weeks ago before we saw them put it in the game. So they're starting to kind of equip players with certain stuff that they wear in real life. And when we get the next big title update, from what I was able to gather, we're going to be able to get this stuff to customize on every player. So we know we got new stuff with sleeves coming and cleats, and we got new helmets and face masks and stuff like that, but also just brand new equipment like these new wrist braces. So they will be equipped on some players like Micah Parsons. I think other people have them equipped as well, but when the next title update comes, for sure, I know that we'll be able to equip these on anybody we want. And of course, another big change that was made was Kenny Clark. He is now officially on the Cowboys. He was a part of that Micah Parsons trade. I believe the Cowboys got a couple of picks back, and Kenny Clark kind of feel like they maybe could have gotten just a tad bit more, but I mean, I don't think it's the worst trade in the world. Like I said, they probably could have got another pick thrown in there, but Kenny Clark is still, while he's older, still a very, very good defender in his own right, you know, as a defensive tackle, really good run stopper. So it's not like the Cowboys got nothing back in return, but of course, it's just kind of hard to replace somebody like Micah Parsons. I mean, he's just that good, but Kenny Clark is now officially on the Cowboys roster. We've also got Keenan Allen officially back with the Los Angeles Chargers. We'll have to see how he performs this season. I mean, last year with the Bears kind of looked like he was starting to lose a step, but I mean, not bad to add that back to the receiving core with guys like Ladd McConkey and, you know, the rookie Trey Harris. So I think bringing that veteran presence back home, he can kind of finish out his career there, is pretty cool. So Chargers fans, he is now back on the roster. We've also got Brian Robinson Jr. officially to the Niners, as they traded him there not too long ago. And he even might wind up starting this week, I think. I'm not sure if McCaffrey's officially out yet, but I know that he is at least questionable. But I think they might have ruled him out, not 100% sure. So kind of good that the Niners did pick up a very solid backup there in the trade with Washington. And he is now officially on the roster in Madden 26. Now we're going to continue on with the rest of the updates, but really quickly, I want to shout out today's video sponsor, Underdog. If you like money and you like winning sports, then you've got to be on Underdog playing their pick'em game. Basically, all you do is pick higher or lower on player stats, and if they hit, you can win some big money. And if you sign up using my code RAY, R-A-Y, for this Sunday's games, they're going to give you a special pick of Alvin Kamara to get a single yard. That means all he needs is 1 yard, and that's it, you win. And that is a special pick that only people using my code can get. And when you use my code RAY, they're going to also give you $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5 entry. And you just can't beat that. Moving on, we've got Tim Patrick, who is now officially on the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is kind of an underrated pickup in my opinion. I think he's a pretty solid receiver. He was with the Lions last year. He was with the Broncos before that, but another good option there for Trevor Lawrence to go with Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, so I think that's a pretty good addition. The Saints also picked up a couple receivers over the last couple of weeks, and they're now officially in the game. We've got Devon Vele, I think is his name. I can't remember how to pronounce his last name, but he was on the Broncos. They traded for him. 6'5", big body, so kind of good on the team there. But the big one here for sure is going to be Trey Palmer, who they also acquired because he's 95 speed, so he is the fastest receiver on the team. So when you start to look at the Saints in this game, you know, their offense kind of shapes up to not be that bad. I mean, they don't really have great quarterback play, of course, but you've got Kamara. But when you look at the receivers, I mean, you've got a lot of speedsters, 93 speed, 93 with Cooks. Now you've got 95 with Palmer and 94 with Tipton. And honestly, in this year, more than others, I think speed is really important in this game, even more than like route running and stuff like that. So having a 95 speed receiver added to the team is a pretty big addition. We've got Kenny Pickett officially added to the Raiders roster. I mean, you're probably not going to use him, but hey, who knows? If you're doing a rebuild or something and you want to, you know, get off Geno Smith because he's older and you want to try to build up Kenny Pickett, I don't know. You know, people do crazy things in this game, but he is now officially on the Raiders roster. Sam Howell is also now officially on the Philly roster. They picked him up recently as well. And again, I don't know if you're really going to use him. I mean, hey, I guess if Jalen Hurts, you know, gets hurt, you know, no pun intended, you could use him there. But, you know, they've got the rosters up to date now. So just kind of going over some of the bigger name moves that were made recently that are now in the roster update. Here's another big one, in my opinion. Adam Thielen now officially back with the Vikings, where he spent most of his career. And honestly, he's probably wide receiver 3 on this team, at least in terms of Madden. I'm not sure how they're going to roll it out in real life if he's going to play as the 3rd guy there. I mean, maybe to start the season, it could be even a little higher because I think that Addison's suspended. But having Adam Thielen back in the purple and gold is pretty cool. So he's now officially on the roster in Madden 26. Now, moving on to the equipment, we touched on this earlier with the new wrist braces, but you can see that Aiden Hutchinson is another guy that has them equipped. So look around, some of the players have been updated with their player likeness and this new equipment. And again, when the title update comes in a couple weeks, we will be getting this for more players that we can kind of customize. So they're kind of just like getting some of it in early for the player likeness, as you can see here. They also added a new wrist coach to Kyler Murray. Now, again, this is not one that you can equip on just anybody yet. This is the newer version of the wrist coaches that leaked a few weeks back, and now they're starting to slowly put it on some of the players. Again, much like some of the other stuff we've talked about, when the update actually drops, this should be available for more players where you can just put this on anybody you want. But they're definitely trying to update the equipment, modernize it a little bit more. This one's a little bit smaller, a little thinner, and you can see it's even open. I don't know if there's going to be an option to wear it open or closed, but Kyler Murray, I believe, is the only person that is sporting the new wrist coach as of now. But as we get more updates, like I said, this will be there for everybody and it'll be equipped to more players by default. So that's another new little piece of equipment that they snuck in the game yesterday. They've also updated more players so that you could wear the shooter sleeve with the compression shirt combo. They did this with one of the last small updates for guys like Caleb Williams and Cam Ward and Joe Burrow. Now you can do it with more players such as Justin Jefferson. So if they're already equipped with the short sleeve kind of compression shirt, if they did the update to them, you can do things like wear the turf tape with the compression shirt, as you can see, or you can wear like a shooter sleeve with it in the different colors. So again, this is going to be able to be done on every player once I think the next title update comes. You can also do it with CeeDee Lamb, as you can see right here, just showing you a couple examples. He's another player that they've now equipped this to. You can now also do it with Patrick Mahomes. So as you can see, they're just kind of updating a lot of these players to give you the option to kind of do both, which a lot of players do in real life now. So he's another guy that you could do this with. You could do it with Anthony Richardson as well now. As you can see, they've updated it for him, so that's pretty nice. And as you can see here on Geno Smith, he already has it equipped here. You could do it on Geno Smith as well. So those are a few of the players that I was able to find that have the sleeve updates. There could be some more, but it's going to be for everybody when the title update comes, like I said. So they're just trying to up the player likeness, which I think is a good addition. Now, in terms of what else you can expect to come in the next Madden title update, obviously, we're going to have a lot more gameplay changes. It's still early in the year, so they're going to be tweaking a lot of stuff with gameplay. I do believe they're going to be tweaking the aggressive catching a little bit more. It's something they always go back and forth with. Sometimes when it's too good, you know, people complain and they dial it back. And then people complain that it's not good enough and they can't catch anything one-on-one, and then they dial it up. So I do think they're going to be tampering with that. Probably going to be doing some more zone coverage. They did address some zone coverage in the first update, but there is more things that need to be addressed. Just things like shading underneath coverage, for example, hook zones not playing, you know, where they should be all the time, and certain things with match coverages that need to be tweaked as well. So we definitely can expect some coverage updates just overall. In terms of more additions to the game, there's definitely more equipment coming, not just the things that I talked about in this video, like the sleeve updates for everybody and things like the new wristbands and wrist coaches, but there's also just going to be, you know, new helmets that are on the way. I believe new face masks, new cleats and stuff like that's going to be coming throughout the year. So we're definitely getting more of that. Of course, franchise mode is going to be getting more fixes as well. It's just one of those things where there's always like certain bugs in franchise that need to be ironed out. So I don't know which one specifically, but they are working on a number of things that are still kind of plaguing franchise right now. So those are going to be addressed, of course. Also, anything in superstar mode that could be still buggy. You know, these first couple updates is usually when they get a lot of that stuff out of the game. You know, when the game launches, unfortunately, it's just something we've kind of come to expect. There's going to be bugs some years worse than others, but with those first couple updates, they usually are able to get most of them ironed out and out of the game. So that's kind of the point where we're at right now. And of course, there's a lot more player likeness we're still waiting on. That's another thing we usually see with the first few updates very heavily, like all of the rest of the big name rookies who aren't in the game yet, even some second and third year players that maybe they haven't gotten around to putting in the game. So we're going to be seeing a lot of player likeness with this next update, I would imagine, as well. So definitely stay tuned so you don't miss out on any of these when they drop. Now, while you're here, there are some very important settings that you have to make sure are turned on in Madden 26. And if you want to find out what that is, make sure to check out this video right here on the screen.